All right. We are live.
Awesome. Okay, in that case we are going with regular land battles without the capture mod. With that in mind, let's build our brackets. Perfect. Okay. So we are automatically at semifinals.
Yeah, John. Could you get him and Big GP get him to play?
You got it.
Thanks.
Yep, I will ping them in their respective channels.
Alright, and I will host a draft for the other semifinals in
Got it.
number 2.
Oh, good, they're already here.
Yeah. So on Edge, the pictures work. Just in other browsers they don't. It just doesn't make sense at all.
Well, what do you mean pictures work? Oh, it's
And the
on the draft. Yeah. In which one it doesn't work? In which browser?
It works in Edge. Doesn't work in other browsers.
That's weird.
The only explanation I have for it is that the pictures broke, but Edge somehow keeps them through cookies or the cache.
Oh. Yeah, on the site cache.
Works for me.
Wow. Let me check. See, I'm currently on Firefox. Yep.
Okay, we've got Kisler versus Grand Cafe. That's spicy.
Alright,
the
alright.
best factions
Spicy.
going through. Empire for its
Singe.
versatility, and Sinch and Lizardmen. All top tier factions. Whereas like the A tier factions, B tier factions get banned. All the S tiers went through.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's see why they
Chaos
are
works.
considered S tier.
Okay, nice. And the other draft, not underway yet. Anyway, we'll be casting the battles through replays, so it will take a while before they start coming in.
Sure thing.
speaking of the other draft not coming through, is because maybe I didn't send the link to these guys.
Yeah. Okay, I was waiting for them to come in. They're the ones supposed to host.
Okay, let's see the draft. Still going through, but they are hopefully getting to it. Right. Big Man is being confident. Picking a faction and a map already without waiting for the counter faction. And we've got Tim and Big GP in a draft. So, waiting for Tim to get ready. So here the first match, Kislev versus Chaos Dwarfs at Rifts at World's Edge. And the other draft is underway. Grand Cafe banned already, so seems like a different direction, followed by Kislev. So they're banning the top tier factions and will be fighting with the weaker ones. So a little bit more conventional approach. Let's see if Tsinj gets banned as well. Although after the nerfs,
Yeah, I'm not too
the
sure.
big nerfs to the Middle East Beast,
Yes.
since it's no longer that highly valued. Although the new change bringers are pretty spicy.
Oh, they are absolutely spicy because think about it. Flamers were a great unit, but one of their biggest weaknesses is that line of sight. Putting them at a high vantage point is absolutely game breaking. Their only weakness that is left at the hands of good players is their ammunition. But, like, that's okay. They annihilate anything they touch anyway. So they will get their value as long as they are not being zoned out. I need to make a quick phone call. You take over and I'll hop back in.
Well, we got our bands rounded up with Norska, Bretonia, Lizardmen and Dark Elves. So let's see, what is there left from the top 2 factions? We've got Chaos Dwarfs available. Beastmen are quite popular as well. Empire, obviously. The regular dwarves could be a thing as well. Greenskins, no longer as popular after the nerfs. Regular dwarves, it is. And SUNTZU is available, obviously. A Middle East Beast is still very, very powerful. But didn't Kairos also lose his regrowth? I think he did. I read about it in the patch notes somewhere, I think. That is SUNTZU and Warriors of Chaos for big GP. Let's see what team goes with. I'll be guessing Empire. There we go. Ogre Kingdoms are worthy note. Still a high tier faction, but not as much anymore after some recent nerfs. But if all the best factions banned out, why not? Tomb Kings. They didn't have any changes recently. I don't think they had any big changes. But then again, it is land battles and not domination. So there you go, and it is Greenskins in the end. A faction which suffered quite big nerfs. But still, like, the roster is pretty damn good. It's just not ridiculously OP with Wurzak. So maybe we'll see somebody else in Wurzak, although even after the nerfs, he's still by far the most popular lord to go for them. No, now I wait for the replays to come. That is our bracket. So, we did encounter a problem, which I forgot about because, well, we did a last minute change. It was like, let's not do the capture points mod. We'll just go with regular land battles because it is what our players wanted. But now the map pools are fucked because the map pools were prepared for that mod. Very well done. Well, luckily, our players are understanding. Well, team dies for the map pool. Let's go into the game and let's have a look at the maps. In the meantime, maybe I'll whip out a map pool for finals, at the very least. This is AI. Wait, what the fuck? Why is it like 15,000? What? 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 What is going on? Okay, well, never mind. Well, what the hell? There's no way the UI mod does that, right? There's just no way. There was a hotfix 2 days ago. Did no one notice that? Maybe they noticed, but see, it was like, we can't remove a 0 on such a short notice. We can make a hotfix 2.3 or something. They also stopped doing blog posts for hotfixes, which they used to do. Anyway, came here for the maps and battle. I mean, as long as the map says multiplayer, alright. And that's fine. Have a look. Alpine Ridge. Oh, that map is in Total War since at least Napoleon. Classic. This doesn't seem balanced. This is just pretty flat. Crossroads. But this one's just flat. Great. Yeah, no, if like one player starts over here and the other here, that's unbalanced. But if it's here and here, then it's fair. Somewhat. Nope. God damn it, these maps are all garbage. What the fuck? And you have the guts to call them multiplayer? When they're not even symmetrical? What the fuck? Oh. Hey, look, that's a somewhat symmetrical map. You could use that. These are just flat. Alright. Let's write it down. Alpine Ridge is fine. This one's not. Okay. Acceptable. So Blue Ridge River. Yep. Castle Drakenhof. Okay, fine. Why is there something to do while waiting for the replays to start coming in? Crossroads, yeah, sure, that's just flat. Most fair map of them all. Whereas, no. Why does it take so long to load? Okay, fine, Ashen. Galbaraz. Oh, this garbage. Also garbage. Yeah, it's just a big ass heal. But ranges are gonna suck in here. Unless you get the top. But even then, you would have shitty arcs. That's completely random. Same here. Okay, peak pass. Prague's just mostly flat, so sure. Schwarzhafen, same. Volksgrad, nope. And Waldenhof, nope. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 maps that are acceptable, and we need 7 of them to create a map pool. So remove Crossroads because it's just super flat. I mean, let's skip Crossroads. I'll just remove Prague and Schwarzhafen. These as well. So we'll remove that. And it'll be our grand final pool. And now for the third place match, a pool. And there's the 2 maps we've rejected here. And remove some 2 others. Let's remove Ashen because it was sassy. And let's remove Crossroads. Okay, and that will be the third place match map pool. Welcome back, Arkland.
Alright. Thank you. So, what are we up to?
Still waiting for replays.
Oh, okay. Okay, we've got our drafts done from the looks of it.
Yeah, we've had a problem.
Oh,
so
whatever.
because we changed last second to regular land battles, we lost the benefit of the capture mode, which also provided good maps.
Oh, well, that
And
sucks.
we were left with the shitty
Shitty maps.
DCA made ones.
Oh no. Oh well.
So we were left with our map pools. So for semi-finals, just told them go with whatever you want.
Yeah.
But
Fair.
for the grand final and third place match, I have prepared map pools.
Yes. Yes. Should.
So they're already done.
Yeah, while they are playing on semifinals. Okay, that's great. That's great.
So I have the first replay.
That's good.
Okay. So the map was Cliff of Beasts Quest Battle. That's another place where you could draw the maps from. Which I thought about, but it was like, whatever. Okay, so we've got Kislev versus Chaos Dwarfs. Kislev with Mother of Stankia, quadruple winged lancers, little Grom for artillery, 4 Streltsy, and 4 times Kislev warriors, the new unit. And then Chaos Dwarfs with an Overseer, which is just a regular melee lord. But I have no magic? I have no magic. Okay.
No magic? Which is
that-
weird, considering they've got access to some of the best magic.
Exactly.
Like, they've got Final Transmutation, although, yeah, they've got access to Final Transmutation. They have Death Lore. There's some great stuff they could go with. Like, some very price-efficient stuff, so... Especially against Mother Ostankia, like, the thing with...
I guess my turn died. Happens. Yep, it did.
Give the advantage to Kislev
Yeah,
in this
welcome
game.
back.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, my internet died for only like 15 seconds, which is not as bad as it usually is.
You know, that actually has been happening for the past 2 weeks or so to a lot of people in Europe.
No, this has been happening for me for the past too many years to count now.
Oh my god, that sucks. Yeah, we had a guy from Czech Republic who had that exact same problem. But anyway, going back to this match, Little Grom is a very powerful artillery, is quite accurate.
I'm just gonna launch the replay now.
Yeah, let's launch the replay and take a look. Now, Laborers. Laborers are a very bad unit. They're a horrible unit. They have
They make a lot of
no
sense domination, but we'll see how much
Yeah.
they make in land battles.
Exactly.
I mean, well, this is mostly hybrid infantry, right? But we do have Streltsy, so you can just use them to overwhelm the lines, or you would use your main infantry
Screen.
to fight against the main infantry of the enemy, and use those laborers to just go and disrupt the ranged units.
Well, yes.
But Streltsy is still pretty good in melee, I believe.
Yeah, exactly. They are very good in melee, and only use I'm seeing for those laborers is as a screening force, and I don't think a screening tactic has been effective ever in Warhammer.
Early on, we're gonna have Little Grom versus the Penis Cannon, which for some reason is all the way back at the end of the
That's
formation.
very strange. And why
Yeah,
are they
Little Grom
putting
can just start
him
firing
early?
right now. It just looks for a
Exactly.
better target, whereas the Penis Cannon, which has shorter range, has nothing to shoot at.
Yeah.
So Kislev can
Yeah,
just
it really doesn't.
take it easy at the moment. But
Also, let's not
they're still
forget
going
Mother
forward.
Ostanka is also an artillery.
Somewhat. With 120 range,
A
we don't
mobile
exactly call them artillery, but yeah.
Yeah, we've got a spellcast going down on those archer. Oh, we got cancelled.
Yeah, no, that's the bear thingy. Forgot the name of it. And it is
Oh,
very
that
effective.
was a square hit. In fire glaives, 25% loss is a major factor, yeah. Oh, Hell Cannon firing at Ostanka, that's probably the worst target he could have chosen.
Did
It
score a hit
hits,
at
but it
least.
barely does any damage.
That
Barely
is the
does
only
any
thing
damage.
you can hit. As long as it
It
doesn't
is.
run out of
Should have
ammunition, it's
moved
fine.
closer. Oh, that
There's
is...
the Vengeance of Spirits, or whatever. Vengeful Spirits. And
That is-
Blunderbuss is gone. Pretty much.
annihilated.
Down
Yep,
to
pretty
half.
much. Yep, cavalry coming in from the sides.
And routed. They can
and
just go
routed.
pick them up.
And their archers are just undefended.
Yep, probably
Oh, and now
archers,
cavalry
very
is going
young.
in for the Hell Cannon.
Well, it's not gonna get there because the laborers are there, but yeah,
oof.
that's second range is gone. And third soon
Oh
to
my
follow.
God.
I mean, they are going to route or rally.
That is
Oh, friendly
very
fire.
bad for Guest Wars.
Friendly fire.
Oh yeah, that was friend.
And okay, fire glaives, they do have anti-large, So not necessarily the best target to charge, but
The anti-large.
it's still a rear charge from wing lancers, so nothing to scoff at. And now with the second
surrounded.
one,
They're going
if he
to rout.
didn't unclick, I believe they would have routed.
Yep.
He's going for a different target. There's no really point in going after the penis cannon.
There really isn't. Like, it is not that big of a
Goblin
deal.
archers, yeah, I would just finish off the ranges, which are completely undefended at the moment. We do have double goblin wolf riders.
Oh no,
Going
the
after
Little Grom is
Grom,
undefended.
and yeah, seems like Pigman
If Little
just
Grom
doesn't see that.
falls, they will not really have much of an artillery advantage, and they can't just blob up.
I think they've secured enough of an advantage for
Yeah, they have. They really
their
have.
cavalry charges. Also, like Little Grom isn't going to go down so easily, as it is not a conventional artillery. It doesn't have a crew.
41 melee attack. 41 melee attack and 29 defense. That's pretty good. Weapon strength with 110.
Well, my main point
That's
is
pretty
it doesn't have a crew, so
Yeah.
usually with penis cannon, at least you can kill the crew, right? But
Yeah.
here you have to actually just take it down to 0, or at least low enough for it to.
Got cavalry response.
Yeah, plus a streltsy.
And you know what's funny?
Yeah, Little
Those
Grom is
cavalry
even
took a
half.
ton of damage. Little Grom itself didn't.
No, it's not Little Grom, it's streltsy.
Oh, it's Streltsy? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've got the main infantry clash. Or clay warriors, maybe not as main, but there we go. Chaos Dwarf Warriors, this is Kislevad. So they should be trading up.
Yep.
The
They would be if they
stats
were not
aren't
so...
that much better, to be honest. Only armor is quite a big difference.
It is, but also those Streltsy are firing directly at those
They're
Chaos
exposing
Warriors.
their backs. I mean, they have shields on their backs, but I don't think the missile block chance works like that anyway.
It does not. It does not. Oh, Mother of Stanky is almost dead.
Oh, I need Vengeful Spirits. Oh, that's gonna hurt.
That is gonna hurt. Oh, that general is coming
Oh,
after
that's Vengeful
Mother of
Spirits is
Stanky.
some other thing.
Oh, Mother of
In a
Stanky
way,
out.
it hurts.
Yep.
Yeah, Mother of Stanky
is out
being
of the battle.
sniped is
Oh,
quite big.
General's getting sniped. All Streltsy are firing on the enemy general, and his health is just
Yeah, it's
disappearing.
Oh, he got Ostankia though, so there we
He
go.
got
Ostankia's
Ostankia.
dead, and maybe he'll escape. Starts to have range for one more volley, although he's
Yeah.
not running away from them.
Oh,
He's going
he
into.
made
oh,
a
he's dead.
fatal mistake. That
Oh,
was a
he's so dead.
fatal mistake. Yep, he's dead.
There we go.
He could have escaped,
mean,
but that momentary...
At this point, it was pretty much over anyway.
Pretty...
You can see on the screen at the moment. Yeah, there we go. Army losses, mass rout, and Danzer. Pyrrhic victory. I want to call it Pyrrhic. That was pretty convincing.
Oh, that was pretty clear, yeah.
Also, the UI mod didn't work. Have I disabled it by any chance? I was gonna relaunch the game to confirm that.
So this was, which one was a Pigman versus just a dead man?
Yes, so Pigman is 1-0 up. Oh, I disabled the wrong mod. There we go. I disabled the UI mod instead of the land battles with capture point mod.
Oh, that explains it.
Well, Pigman and Just a Deadman are just now, like literally, right now, getting into battle. Oh, it seems they have gone into the battle like 5 minutes ago. But now they're saying, you okay? Lagging. So, hopefully they're fine. So, at the moment, we don't have another battle. But because it's not land battles with capture point, there are army losses. So the battle was pretty quick. It literally took 5 minutes. Like 1 minute of it was armies getting closer together. So like 4 minutes, it's over. It's very quick. Meanwhile, Tim and Big JP also got into their battle just merely 5 minutes ago. But then again, given how short these battles may be, like this one was,
Yeah, it was pretty decisive. It was.
it might not need to wait too long.
Yeah. Looks like Pigman and just the Dead Man are lagging, so that might take a while.
Yeah, at least when we aren't there, that's definitely not our fault.
Indeed, and you know, we have taken.
Speaking of lagging, my internet died again. Yeah.
Replays.
Speaking of lagging, my internet is alive again. I wonder what happens to the stream when I lag. I mean, the best case scenario would be the stream lags for a bit, then buffers, and everything I said during those few seconds that were gone is just stored in RAM and then goes through. So there definitely is like a technical possibility to do that. Question is it the way it works, or do they just not care? I'm like, well, fix your internet, bitch. Strange things are happening in semifinal. Now match number 2.
Yeah, that is very strange.
So through enabling the UI mod, Satan is now back at his correct cost. So that's the thing you've missed.
Did he just quit?
Unless it was the other mod that fucked up Satan.
That's weird.
Well, sometimes shit happens and you literally need to get up and leave. Well, in the meantime, well, they hopefully resolve their issue. I just go down the bottom. This time it is from Tim and GP. Okay, so we have Empire versus Greenskins. What is this? Oh, it's probably because of the UI mod that they haven't used.
Yep. Yep, we got a replay.
Yeah. Oh,
Right, let's take a look.
Yeah, we have Boris Bringer versus Night Goblin War Boss. We have Jade Wizard with Earthblood versus Night Goblin Shaman with Vindictive Glare, so just missile spells, magic missiles, and Sneaky Stabby, so buff. Alright, then we have Savage Orc Big Guns, we have the Boar Riders, the Squigs, 4 regiments of renown in total. So the Arch Cavalry, and Orc Boys, and Squeak Herd. Pretty standard build, pretty standard, although maybe the Savage Orc Big Guns aren't that popular.
No.
And for the Empire, we've got triple greatswords, 5 huntsmen. So they have stock. There's that. We have 4 halberdiers and 5 spearmen. Okay, let's go.
Let's take a look.
Well, just a gentlemen, how the other matches is going. This is how it's going. We're about to find out. That's weird. But whatever. So we got Boris Bringer with his regeneration. That's why it is a pick of culture.
He is.
Better
He
than
absolutely is.
The true Emperor.
Yep. Has been a staple pick ever since he got announced, thanks to that regeneration. Regeneration is a massive factor in these battles. I believe that is not because regeneration is that good, but because burst damage is not really a thing because of the animation.
By the huntsman,
as expected, quite frankly, I don't see the point of this ranged cavalry, because Empire has access to some great range units which will outdamage and outrange their range, so that is just a losing value proposition.
And a good few volleys from huntsman there. And as Squeaker is trying to make them run away, but they're just getting under fire from another unit of huntsmen.
Yeah.
So yeah, those quintuple huntsmen are doing some pretty good work at the beginning. But
absolutely,
for Big JP, all it takes is just get in there in the melee range, and huntsman will just become useless instantly. So the longer he prolongs this range exchange,
phase, yeah.
he's losing out.
He is. Like, the skirmish phase definitely favors Empire, so what Greenskins really need to do is close the gap as quickly as possible and occupy those units as quickly as possible.
Too eager to do that. Okay, now they're moving forward.
Oh, I think I know what he did. He locked groups and is now moving them as one group.
Yeah, he does that, or just drive them. That's also a possibility. Yeah. But as long as he just closes the gap, that's all he needs to do.
Exactly.
Well, then he still needs to execute well.
Wait, one thing I like to do...
No, they aren't being focused. Go on.
They're not. One thing I like to do is move in as groups, but then give individual orders, because that just creates the most efficient, most effective way of engaging and doing damage. And then I watch to see if they swap any units, because that is just such a great way of throwing your opponent off.
Squeakers are considered big.
Yes, they are. And so spears are going to do tremendous amount of work on them, and Squigard. Also, Jade Wizard putting down heals is going to be big.
That is a pretty good point to trigger Wa.
It is, but like the positioning
mostly
is so
done
bad.
for.
Yeah, greenskin positioning is very, very bad. They are being few against the enemy's many. And Tim is utilizing his entire army at the same time. Everybody is doing something, and that's how you win the battle.
I would use those ranged cavalry units as melee cavalry units to create more
100%.
chaos. There we go. Like if we had more cavalry units here on the Huntsman, all of them would
Those
be engaged in melee.
Yes,
but the Huntsman right now, they're just running back and forth without being able to shoot.
Yes. I 100% agree with you. One thing people forget is
are coming in as well. But
like
the front
trying
line
to
is kind
exchange
of
fire
collapsing.
with Huntsman. Yeah, that's just a bad idea.
And Squeakers into Spearmen, probably they would just need to look
Like,
for some gaps,
one
but
thing
they're
he could
pulling
do-
through into Greatsword, so that's pretty good.
Yeah. One thing he could do, he could use those ranged cavalry as cavalry and have those spears
Fanatics
route
doing
much
pretty good
faster.
work.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
because Empire
Fanatics are great.
frontline is also like just so all over the place at the moment, just created one big blob. Those fanatics that are being launched, they just constantly spin through something rather than just initially for the front lines and then being useless as they usually would. And Greenskins are probably heading damage and getting closer in gold army value. And let's not forget that gold army value, there's still a lot of that in the Huntsman units, which are not very useful long term. But here
Greenskins have
goes
finally
the healing.
started. Greenskins are finally utilizing their best advantage, which is that prolonged melee. They will win that melee exchange.
They're not using the
They just
cavalry
need melee.
advantage there. Like just
They
get
really
those
are not,
ranged
and that's
cavalry
so
units
disappointing.
into melee with Huntsman.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
exactly.
pretty good. Savage Orc begins
Begins.
rallying behind enemy lines. They'll have a good
that's,
approach. And now
enclosed.
Empire can just be completely surrounded. That's what you
They're
get when you don't
completely
bring enough melee units, and Wa being triggered
Tim
at
was
precisely the
responding.
best time.
Well,
Yeah, Spearman will
Tim
hold
is
them in,
responding
but
with
those
spear,
Huntsmen...
but not for long.
Okay, there's plenty of units routing at the moment, so just focusing on those routed units
Yes, exactly.
could be a good idea. Like, that just provides targets to shoot for, or shoot at. And the cavalry can find the gaps.
They're
even though
using
there's
concentrated
plenty
fire,
of them.
but at a very fast-moving unit, and so those huntsmen will never be able to complete their animation to shoot properly. So the damage there is going to be minimal.
They are hitting them.
No, they should fire at those orc boys that are fighting spears because they have their backs turned on them.
Just
The
shooting
direct
those
line of
that
sight.
are routed.
Or that, yeah, absolutely.
Vision move. There's still Boris still bringing out full HP. He's getting close to his healing cap though.
Oh, we've got.
Hey, there we go.
cavalry
Finally,
moving
the
in.
cavalry. Well, they almost ran out of
Finally.
ammunition. Oh, that was an explosion.
Finally, we've got them being used as proper cavalry.
So the Empire pulled out ahead yet again in value. Although the damage is quite considerably ahead for Greenskins, just the healing that's coming through for Empire is quite potent. Where Greenskins don't have any of their own. The only thing that heals for them are the trolls, which they haven't brought. And there we go, yet another heal for Greatswords, some for Halberdiers. That's pretty good targets. Yet another unit.
It
Yeah,
is.
2 Halberdiers and 2 Greatswords got healing. That's very, very good.
Very, very good. Yeah, they are pulling ahead in value.
Well, Night Goblin Warbus is also still full HP.
Yeah, I don't think their plan will be to snipe the general because Tim knows those night goblins are
Cavalry
very small
against
targets.
Bringer.
And yep, we got GG, and Empire wins.
God damn it!
Well, it was pretty clear Empire
Play it out
victory.
until the end. Yeah, sure. And the range spammer won. Oh. I'll always be salty. I'll always be salty. It's down to execution. But yeah, but there we go. I think Big JP drafted a better army, but Tim played better on the map.
Yes,
The
absolutely.
Huntsman's stock paid out. Big JP hesitated for way too long to use his cavalry, or just to close the gap at all. So yeah, he allowed his Huntsman to bring in some value. And the Wizard and Boris the Bringer, probably MVPs. Greatswords did pretty great as well.
We've got news from our semifinal match too. Unfortunately, Pigman had an emergency he had to go and take care of. As such, he is forfeiting the tournament. And Deadman
Yep.
is advancing to finals.
Yeah. So high.
Yeah. But it was a very good game. A very good game. Tim played very well. His micro was great. He used the blob to heal himself, which outlasted the Greenskins. I think JP had a lot of mistakes. He did not use his cavalry properly. His infantry was not lined up properly.
So see, your definition of a good game is different than mine. Then. It was a good game
Yes.
for Tim, but for me, a good game is when both players do super well.
They
and
did
it
not
gets
do
close at the end.
it. Yes, but I think we had a lot of good moves on both sides, and some mistakes on both. Tim clearly committed
Bringing
less
Huntsman
mistakes.
was a mistake. And he got away with it.
He did get away with it. He did mess up their execution. I don't know if you noticed he was using a lot of concentrated fire, and that's usually very bad because there is just something with their animation. They will not fire. Even more so, the moment something steps out of their range, they reset their animation to fire, preventing them from firing. They just stand there and staring. So that was one mistake he did. But, in the heat of battle, that is completely understandable. I probably have done my share of that myself. So, can't really judge him on that one. But otherwise, I agree with you. Huntsman was a bad idea. JP's drafting was better. I think that army composition could have won, but the execution was so bad. Like, walking around with those savage orcs for so long while his units were getting torn to shreds was not a good idea. That encirclement should have been much, much faster. Cavalry should have been used much, much better. And just wasting your squigs on spears, that was just a very bad move.
But it was quite a lot of speed, so it was difficult for Squigs to maybe find a better target. Although they are very mobile.
Yeah.
But
They're
yeah,
incredibly
all the
fast.
infantry units should be hitting at around the same time rather than scattered all around.
One thing I want to see more, though.
And then Squigs could look for the gaps created by that. Also, there
Yes,
were quite a lot
exactly.
of
That's
gaps
what I wanna see
in the
more of.
Empire formation.
Yes.
So
And they
Tim
were barely taken advantage
didn't
of.
play like very well either.
Yes, that was a definite mistake, and I wanted to see JP take advantage of that. It is very easy to just turn your units into a marching column and sneak those in. I love doing that to take advantage of the gaps and punish your opponent. Like, that is something that can completely break enemies' box. And that can win you the battle. I had battles being turned simply because I took advantage of the gaps in those units. And Greenskins are great at that. Their units, on average, are pretty good with speed, have got great damage, great value. Just sneak them in there and get into... It's like trying to eat a crab, You as soon as you crack that shell, you get that soft, delicious meat within. Like, you don't have to break the whole shell, you just need to crack it and get in there. And we saw very little of that. Like, we should have seen a lot more considering the amount of gaps that Tim had left. So, yeah. Looks like in our semifinal match, the Pigman had to go AFK in the middle, so I really don't see any value in watching that one.
I mean, like the replay where he went AFK in the middle?
Yeah.
I would say that's still better than looking at nothing. But we didn't get that replay.
Oh, let's get the replay. I'll let him know.
Did you get a replay? No.
Well, this is awkward. This is awkward.
It hasn't happened for the first time. You know what is more awkward? Signing up and then not checking it. That is pretty cringe, as far as I'm concerned.
We got a replay.
I'm back. Did now I miss anything? Commentated, I mean. Okay. I'm gonna change its name. But I know that it is not unofficial replay. Okay. Oh, there we go. Sorry, I can mute him. Guess I had to go. You there, Ark?
Oh yeah.
There's a replay.
Let's watch the replay. That is half a replay apparently. Give me a second.
That's an interesting siege build. Double Doom Knights, then Knights of Immolation. Flamers. Is it Changebringers? It's not a chariot. Could be like a single flamer, or like the multiple ground-based flamers, whatever they're called. And pink horse, blue horse. Let's see. Yeah, those are the flying ones. So change bringers. We have double Skyjung, which is going to be completely countered by the Doom Knights. We have Jade Warrior Crossbowmen times 3. Now the Skyjunks don't do that much damage. And they're the more expensive ones. It's not a Sky Lantern. Jade Warrior's Crossbowmen, well, they're alright. The gunman will be far better. At least stop the Doom Knights for a little bit. And now we got the change bringers, just half HP already gone. Oh, that angle is just brutal. That's another half a unit gone. To be fair though, Skyjunks aren't taking that much damage, and there's a little bit of friendly fire going on.
Yeah.
Now that they've targeted the ground units, yeah, just get rid of the Jade Warrior Crossbowmen, who are the only things that can ever touch them.
Yep.
Cavalry is coming at a blue horse, but there's really no use for the cavalry other than that, because everything else is flying. Speaking of which, where's the commander? Can't see it. Oh, he's here in the fight. Exalted Lord of Change, with metal. Or something like that. Lord of Change. Yeah, that's just change breakers. Although to be fair, they are running out of ammunition, so at least there's that.
Yeah.
But they're bringing insane value. Here we go,
Lines
infantry
engaged.
and cavalry coming in.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I wonder at which point does Pigman go AFK.
I think around this point. Like, you can see his Lord of Change not doing anything.
Yeah, and he's still targeting routed units.
Yep.
Maybe not, it's Shattered still being targeted. Yeah, it's a change bring it absolutely brutal, although on the other hand they are out of ammunition.
Mm-hmm. As I said, Flamers were great, give them some height advantage, and boom.
We've got Doom Knights of Tsinch at full HP, almost. And Knights of Immolation got taken down to like 40%. But they still have their bombardment. It hasn't been used at all. So, just lining it up above infantry will take care of it. There is one thing. After all the land units are getting rid of, they need to land. So, somewhat a problem for change bringers, but they don't have ammunition anyway. And the Doom Knights of Tsinch, well, could they win it? I would still say it could be up in the air. It just really depends on how well the Doom Knights would perform. And
Yeah,
also
Doom
the
Knights are
exalt
pretty
Lord of Change.
inconsistent. Yeah, Doom Knights
That's
are
fine,
pretty
it's
inconsistent.
consultation.
They are very... How do I put this? They either perform absolutely great, or they're absolutely useless. There's just no in between. They're an extreme version of Chaos Knights. They are great against infantry, but they suck against anything anti-large, just completely.
They are large. And we have Jade Warriors of Halberdiers, Halberds, and Peasant Spearmen. And Jade Warriors of Halberds, but almost taken down. Cool.
We also have a replay from Tim. He won 2-0 apparently.
There you go, but where's the penalty for... Oh no, they're losing morale, it just doesn't show up as a notification or something.
Yep.
Okay, she lances. Yeah, so they're almost out of morale. And there we go. Okay, let's get that replay on the board.
Yep. And our players can start playing in the finals.
Alright. They can start the draft while I'll cast the replay. Or we. Okay, so we have Tim as dwarves, Karzakarak with Belegar Iron Hammer. So no rune magic at all as well. Dwarf warriors, so for his great weapons, long beards, Bugman's Rangers times 3 and 5 Koro, so that's 8 ranged units. And double slayers. And we got Singe with Kessus, a Lord of Singe, of Metal. And I have Knights of Immolation. And we got a Changebringers, so the flying flamethrowers, Chaos Furies, Word Spawn, and then triple spawn of Singe, and quintuple Mortars of Siege. Okay, let's see how that goes. I mean, absolute advantage in infantry for dwarves, but there's still 4 chaos spawns.
Yeah, I really don't see the
there are
point of chaos
slayers
spawn
and 8 ranged units.
here. Yeah, exactly. And also, they themselves are not very good. Their animations are horrible. Their damage is lackluster.
I mean, let me tell you how this battle is going to go. So, because the dwarves have an infantry advantage, they'll be able to cover their ranges pretty easily. Mortars of Siege and Chaos Spawn is just going to engage frontally, and then Chaos Spawn is going to quickly die to all the ranged missiles, and Mortars are just going to lose to Dwarf Warriors because they're just that much worse. Knights of Immolation, maybe they're going to score some nice bombardments. Changebringers are going to do alright, although their damage, let's have a look. It is armor piercing, so there we go, so
yes,
they should do alright. But I would definitely favor dwarves in here. That's for sure.
Heavily.
Simulation. Dodging some fire for the time being, but they're gonna take these volleys. The bar has been broken through, they have taken some damage, but very little. Watching 72. Okay, this time the lines are a little bit more coordinated. The Dwarven deployment is quite wide. And here go the Changebringers, but well, that charge barely did anything as well.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And the Changebringers are engaging in a 1v1 fight, 2v1 fight, 3v1 now. And they haven't lost a soldier yet. But that definitely wasn't a good exchange. Meanwhile, half of your army isn't doing anything. If they get some damage, if that counts for anything. Okay, final transitional grade on Belegar, and only Belegar.
What a waste.
Yeah, I guess I'll just spam searing them.
Yep.
That was 200 value, so maybe not that bad for a spell.
It is not, but final
mana?
transmutation is 17 mana, exactly. It is one of those spells that is, if you can hit multiple models with it, it absolutely devastates.
But
like against
there are no
hero
multiple
balls.
units on the map, or models.
Yep.
Oh, sorry.
Yep.
Characters, there we go.
Yeah,
Single
characters.
entities. Well, here comes a single unit of Mortars of Siege. Just to be shot to pieces and focus down, because why not?
Yeah, like, what is
At
this?
least I was wrong about how this battle is going to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that... Yeah, they dealt 24 damage, or 24 damage as gold value.
Yeah, but I love how Tim is protecting his lines and creating these fake openings. Like, oh yeah, come in and take advantage of them. Sure, not gonna stop you. And like,
And the range is
too
pretty
nice.
huge on these, like 160,
Yeah.
and it's 160 on both.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, Bugman's Rangers is the quintessential end game
They're all
range
covering
dueling
each
unit
other.
for dwarves. Yeah, they're all covering each other, and that's the best part. Quarrelers are incredibly price efficient. Bugman's Ranger's great at dueling range and just does great damage in general. Because they have something that no range unit has, that
Change
and that
Breakers
really
can't do
should not
shit.
have,
They just
and
can't
that's
approach
regeneration. They can't.
melee units.
They really can't. Yep, and even if they did, what are they going to do?
But they shouldn't even try approaching the ranged units before the main lines are engaged. Because now the ranged units may be preoccupied with something else, like for example dealing with Chaos Spawn. And then they have a choice. You either focus the Chaos Spawn or protect from the Changebringers. But if they only have to protect against Changebringers or only protect from the Chaos Spawn,
they're going to do a ton of damage.
Yeah, there's not a loss in here. There you go. Now
Yeah.
Changebringers are coming in. And that's
No,
not
there's a nice
Changebringers are coming in as
which
well.
they're going to do very little damage anyway.
Well, not when they're lined up like this, yeah.
Okay, so bombardment. Okay, now that's a good bombardment. But their charge
Slightly better
is...
find transportation.
Yeah, oh yeah. That's a better final transportation.
But all the Chaos Spawn, at least on this side,
it's
was
massive.
defeated pretty quickly because of all the ranged units.
Very much so.
So that's what ranged units are really good against, is the elite builds. So we've got very expensive Knights of Immolation, we've got very expensive quadruple Chaos Spawn.
This is why I always
and
prefer
there's just not
Berserkers.
that many units, so you cannot shut the ranged units, and the ranged units can just focus the high quality units. Which is
Quite
exactly
so,
what
and
happens.
even without range, Chaos Spawn is just not a very price efficient unit.
Yeah, it almost never does well.
It's expensive, clunky, and never really does well.
Like even here, when they had somewhat undisrupted pure melee, they still only have gotten less than 400 damage as gold value. Well, almost being taken out.
Pretty much. That's why when I play...
Their damage is mostly regular damage and not armor piercing. So they're pretty bad against dwarves. But then again, you knew you were going against dwarves.
Yeah, you knew you were going against dwarves. Of course they're gonna bring armor.
It's not like they have choice. Everything has armor, apart from Slayers. Which Slayers are anti-large, so they're still good against Chaos Spawn anyway. So yeah, essentially Chaos Spawn is bad against anything that dwarves can bring. And wow, Bygman's Rangers ran out of ammunition. Impressive. But I had 20 to begin with. Hey, now this one is pretty over. So, Big GP got the Empire battle disrupted, even though it was going somewhat fine, and it could still be exciting. Well, this one is a one-sided stomp, and he's not giving up on this one. And Chaos Spawn of Siege, is unbreakable. Let's hurry it up. But at least the battle wasn't over in 4 or 5 minutes. Okay, GG. Let's see, have they drafted? Oh, there was a second line. Let's have a look at the draft. And ask for the spectator slot. Oh, they probably don't have the UI mod. You know, on the upside, we are going to cover every single battle of this tournament live on stream. There won't be any leftovers. I can't start the stream for you, actually, for some reason, so I'm just gonna disconnect. Okay, let's try this time. And there we go, it works. Okay, we're gonna have a look at the draft in a bit. There we go, that's the draft. Let me just join their lobby first. No, which one is it? There we go. 1, 2, 3, I guess. It was 1, 2, 3 indeed. Alright. Now let's have a look at the draft. Run Cafe, so the same thing as last time, in case of banned, so now we're following the standard pattern of just banning the most OP factions. Nurgle though. Has Steve played Nurgle ever? Might have maybe once or twice, or maybe those were Demons of Chaos. With a Nurgle-ish build. Although I imagine Nurgle is quite a little bit better in land battles than he is in nomination. But again, I don't have time for it now. Or we have little time, so let's do this. Okay, Wizards of Chaos and Chaos Dwarfs nominated. We have got Lizardmen, Dwarfs, High Elves, Redman, then we have Dark Elves and Tomb Kings for Team the Wilder. Deadman got Norska and Wood Elves. Tim rounds it up with Vampire Counts and Skaven. That's some spicy picks. And then Greenskins to round it all up as we load into the next battle, or the first battle. On Crossroads, so entirely flat, everything's super fair. And we have... I think that was Tim on Dark Elves, right? Can you confirm that? Yes, Tim on Dark Elves and just the remain on greenskins, which is displayed nice to hear. So we've got this. Doom Divers for the goblins or greenskins. See, Black Orcs, 2 units. With some goblins as well, and then Orc Boys in the middle, 4 units. Orc with big guns, ×2 on the flanks. 7 Orc Boys or something. And I got Forest Goblin Spider Riders. There are no forests though. In here, it's entirely flat, and then Goblin Great Shaman with Sticky Stabbing, Vindictive Glare, and Curse of the Blood Moon. Okay. For the Dark Elves, we've got Supreme Sorcerers of Dark on a dragon with what spells? Soul Stealer, and that's it. No Power of Darkness, which is sometimes the other choice. And we've got Dark Shields, or Dark Shards with shields, ×5. So team continues to invest heavily in ranged units. Speaking of which, greenskins have only 3, but I have artillery. So 3 versus 5 in terms of ranged. I got a bunch of Dread Spears and Bleak Swords mixed in, alternating. 2 Dread Spears on the left flank. And Dark Riders ×2 with shields in the back line. Ran up with double Witch Elves. Have Witch Brew. And friends. Alright, artillery not in range. Kind of interesting position here in the corner. But not really corner camping, so I guess that's fine. But again, what it is supposed to achieve? Artillery tries to get in range. Almost there. You always really have your artillery at the front of the formation, and then move your formation in front of the artillery once the enemy approaches, to maximize the time that you have for shooting. Oh, and as the players are taking their time, there we go, artillery opens up, trying to aim for the Dark Shards, but in the end it didn't launch any projectiles yet. That's gonna waste time to reposition the artillery, and the enemy already got quite a significant portion of the range closer. That is a bit of a waste of time. Could be 2 volleys fired in the time. There we go. First missiles, if you can call them that. First 2 kamikaze pilots landing in. Doing some damage actually. 320 gold value? Not that bad. Missing the Witch Elves though. I don't think they're the best target either. I would just target big square formations like over here. Like, target these Dark Shards, if you miss them, you hit the Bleak Swords behind. And here comes the Supreme Sorceress with the Soul Stealer, but already lost quite a big portion of her HP. Hasn't been the Vindictive Glare, which I missed. And here comes the Dragon Breath, there we go, down with the Vindictive Glare. The Dragon Breath did almost nothing though. That's 495 value, combined with Soul Stealer and the Dragon Breath. Dark Shards now in range, although these guys will not be shooting because they're overlapping each other. But they should be obstructed. As you can see, only like the right half of the unit shot and the other didn't. Here's the Curse of the Bad Moon, but, well, it just mostly misses after initially hitting the Bleak Swords. Not the best place to cast that spell, as it will, yeah, it only hit one unit. Over here would be much better. It would hit the Witch Elves Regiment of Renown, which has gone rampage. Nord boys are down, and there are goblins being sent in to stop the central engagement. The Black Horse are coming in as well, but they're going to walk into, or going through the enemy range fire for quite a significant portion of time. The cavalry is coming in from quite far away, so it will be a while, giving Tim plenty of time to respond. Sorceress diving in after the Goblin Shaman. I'll rout him with Terror for the time being. Terror also being applied to Goblins. But the Dread Spears have been defeated, the other unit is going to die as well. And Black Orcs are closing in, but they're yet again being focused by Dark Shots, as we do suffer a little bit of lag. Good point here, turn the Black Orcs against the ranged units. As long as these Dark Riders don't stop both of the cavalry units, the other cavalry unit will get into the range. Doesn't target the big ones. Oh, it stopped! It stopped because it engaged it a little bit over here. You need to pay attention and babysit those units a little bit. And Black Orcs down to half HP from just pulling all the way through to those ranged units. And that unit of cavalry would have perfectly capitalized on that chaos and space bought with Black Orcs, but because it was micromanaged, well, the range units have scattered, and here comes Martial Prowess. Tim has been ahead already, or routed even, the Doomdiver catapults. To counter it, to counter the Martial Prowess. Supreme Sorceress on quite low HP, which pulled out and she's fine. Dread Spears chasing off. Vindictive Glare still being a problem as the Goblin Shaman has rallied. But yeah, Tim can just use his cheap units to chase off enemy ranged, while it was the Black Orcs that had to do that job for the Greenskins. So a little bit of mismanagement there. The Black Orcs should have engaged the main melee engagement and then use the weaker Orc Boys or Goblins to provide pressure on the ranged units rather than the other way around. Oh, now that Curse of the Bad Moon is quite a bit better, although it starts turning into his own units. Not too good, but there we go. Orc Boys into... this is pretty bad. Quite a lot of friendly fire, and that unit of Orc Boy Biggins, which was comfortably winning, got routed, and that's Deadman admitting his defeat. Tim wins, or not wins, but leads the match 1-0, wins this battle. Let's put that on the screen, on the draft. Or maybe let's have a look. 249 kills on these. Pretty nice. 1.2k value on the Sorceress. But this guy did a really good job with the Vindictive Glare, just spamming that on the Sorceress. So she was under constant pressure, even though she was healing with the Soul Stealer. So the Goblin Great Shaman was played pretty well. The Black Orcs of 75 value, 325, that's not good. The Doomdiver Catapults barely good enough at all. This didn't do anything. There were 4 units of cavalry in total, and it wasn't really pressuring the ranged units. We've got 1 unit of cavalry pressuring enemy ranged units. So the cavalry of Greenskins outnumber the cavalry of Dark Elves 2-1, and it still couldn't find the gaps. So yeah, quite a bit of misplays and just misplacement of your units there, of Deadman's units. Yeah, a lot of units really got good value, whereas yeah, good value. Quite a lot of units for him. The infantry did abysmally, but as long as these guys are pouring through, Yeah, they're recovering. And yeah, the archers never got really onto them. Okay-ish value, not only-ish, as they were chased off after. It should have been the other way around. It was the greenskins with numerical advantage of melee units. But it was their ranged units that got chased away. Alright, let's put the draft on the screen. And let's see what they're drafting. A victory, Dark Elves, and a loss for greenskins. That's his last choice as well. And Tim was picking first. Well, the greenskin counter didn't work. And now we're going to have a classic matchup of dwarves versus Skaven. It's the first pick versus the last pick. Well, the only more classic matchup for dwarves are the greenskins themselves. The Skaven are yet another sworn enemy of the dwarves. They have plenty of them in the book. Two of my main faction's bands is just a dead man. Well, maybe Tim did his homework, but it seems he just banned the good OP factions, so. Also, there are tournaments reward a deep faction pool, not just focusing on a single unit, a single faction, sorry. Has single faction tournaments will, well, they just don't make sense with our formats. They would need to completely alter our tournaments to ever do a single faction tournament. And also, what would be the point? It wouldn't be any different from any other single faction tournament, which there is already a plenty of. So, no real reason for us to ever do that. I still need to pick them up. There we go. Blue Ridge River.
Sorry, I'm back.
Hello.
Hello. So, what did I miss?
Tim's victory.
Yep, Tim won once, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Alright. Shall we commentate the gameplay, or did you already do that?
It was live.
Oh, it was live. Awesome. Awesome. How was it?
Very similar to the first battle of JP versus Tim.
Yeah.
Tim had range advantage. Yeah. Just that Tim had infantry and cavalry advantage, and Ray didn't use it.
Yeah, did not take advantage of it properly.
Okay, let's have a look at now. So, just them on 5 regular ranged units. Then we have the Iron Drakes. We also have an artillery unit and double gyrocopters, or 1 gyrocopter with brimstone gun and 1 gyro bomber. 1 slayer and just 7 like proper regular infantry. So not that much infantry, which dwarves are well known for. they just spam good quality, cheap infantry units. Let's have a look at the Skaven roster. Skaven slaves. So, we want to see those Skaven slaves to try to occupy enemy ranged units. And we have Plague Monks times 5. Or is it 6? No, that's Death Runners. And then we have Poison Wing Globadiers times 4, Warpog Jezzails times 3. And some more Skaven slaves, so actually 5 Skaven slaves. And Death Master Sneakage. And then for the Wizard, we've got Warlock Engineer with Flensing Ruin, direct damage area. Strong versus single characters. So that's only Belegar, yet again actually. So yet again, no runic magic.
An interesting choice, because the Rune of Speed is great, and I also really enjoy Rune of Wrath and Ruin. Now, interesting choice from Skaven. Are those Rattling guns or are those Jezzails?
Jezzails.
Jezzails. Very strange choice, considering dwarves generally do not field large units.
Well, they don't have those. I mean, oh, they can snipe the gyrocopters, I guess that's that.
That's a good point, actually. Yeah, I think that's what they're going for. They
but
are
does it
very
warrant
effective against that.
triple Jezzails, though?
I don't think it does. I think 2 is more than enough to take out 3 gyrocopters.
Well, they also have artillery advantage.
Yes.
They're hiding a little bit in the forest, although that artillery doesn't have that much of a range.
What's the range on Jezzails? I do know.
250, 75, there we go.
Okay, not really an artillery.
I mean, it's just
range.
25 less than the artillery, so they can actually just engage in missile exchange with the artillery. They can just literally walk up, take a volley or 2 at most, and just snipe out the artillery.
Well,
like
that
literally
is
snipe
an
it out
organ gun.
to down 0.
Yeah, that is an organ gun we're talking about.
Yeah, then they'll have to use the quarrels with 160 range. Try to counter those local Jezzails, but as they get closer, the infantry will get in as well. And the Poison Wing Globadiers, they'll be pretty good at removing infantry. And I don't have to care about friendly fire that much when Skaven slaves are in there, holding the enemy in place. So this is called the Blue Ridge River, but all we've got is a tiny pond. Where's the river? Oh, over there? Wow. Not really. Doesn't count. It is a map similar to one of the good maps present in Shogun 2. But in Shogun 2, like the forest layout is pretty similar, but in Shogun 2 there is actually like a river crossing through the middle.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, that I have pretty fun memories of. Always had fun on.
Yeah.
Alright, we've got Death Runners singing for the forest, although they do have stock, right? Yeah, so no really reason to really... On Seaman Moms as well? Don't they have stock just like that? Or maybe they don't. But anyway, they're in a forest, they're invisible anyway. Maybe that was a misclick. So, Tim is going quite wide, sends an entire regiment to flank around. It doesn't really have like that big of an advantage in terms of melee units. It's 10 versus 8, so advantage team. And it is 7, and there we go. What which is opening up.
Jezzail's opening up, serving as a quasi-artillery.
Yeah, they're actually doing alright. But how do you ever let Warplug Jezzails open up before your artillery fires. When your artillery has range advantage.
Yeah, yeah. And also, artillery is going through the woods, so that's a very big mistake.
Well, it's kind of good that it's leaving the woods, because otherwise it'll just hit the trees.
Yep, exact. That's my point. That is my point. And now artillery is in range, but so is the Giselles. Let's see if artillery
The
can
Giselles
get
are
a
going
shot
to
on.
just bully the Dwarven warriors.
Yep.
Yeah, just Lemon doesn't really have a response to it, because like, he just doesn't know what to do, I think, because yeah, his army is scattered all throughout. This part of his army is just going to get wrecked by presumably Grenadiers.
Quite so.
Well, let's see. Corals
Well,
have range,
oh,
and they're focusing the
Coralers.
poisoning Grenadiers. That's good.
Yep, that's
The other
good,
unit
yeah.
should also do that. But one of those squirrels are also being focused by the Warped Giselles, and presumably Gobert is opening up.
Oh, Giselles are taking out organ guns.
Yeah, as expected and predicted.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That is always going to happen. As far as artillery choice, that wasn't the best. I wouldn't maybe even pick artillery at all. We've got gyro bombers and gyrocopters coming in from the flank now. Let's see how much they can achieve. Gyro bomber needs to be micromanaged quite intensively, so while it is a very good unit
Very
on
much
paper, like in a tournament setting where you've got an entire army to micromanage, the gyrocopter efficiency is quite
Will
low.
drop.
And
Quite so.
Giselles are already focusing them. Both the gyro bomber and
Yep.
gyrocopters.
Yep. Now they can do some dodging maneuvers, and they did. Gyro bomber just dodged an entire volley. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Turning around and shooting at the
There's just some
Giselles doing very little
Scavesons
damage.
routing, so nothing really being
Yeah.
achieved on the Dwarven side. Belagar in the middle of nowhere, probably focused by Warped Giselles any time now. No, the Organians trying to return to their artillery pieces. And gyrocopters down to like 60%. There's a spell. Frenzy Ruin, yeah. I mean, that was the only spell, right? Good against single target, so there we go. Doesn't do much though. Let's see if the gyro bomber can achieve much. Has 8 bombs left out of 10, I believe. Well, the rest of the army is just collapsing, so at this moment we're just waiting for gyro bomber to do something cool. But bombing Skaven slaves and missing the Warped engineer isn't that. And then predictably dying to Warped Giselles. So Warped Giselles, pretty good pick in the end. Countered the artillery, countered the gyrocopters. Probably dealt with the Belagar as well. So, a very convincing win for the Skaven. And that gets us to a match point for Tim. Let's have a look. So, Team's main choice would be Lizardmen, as you would imagine. But then again, High Elves, Norse, and Wood Elves are pretty good matchups into Lizardmen. So maybe going into Tomb Kings or Vampire Counts would be preferable for him. If he picks Vampire Counts, you'd finally see him not picking ranged units. He did pick Lizardman. Maybe he just doesn't care about being countered. And so far, he has been doing pretty well. But that will be a chance for Deadman to now pick a good counter. I don't think Lizardman will ever like pick an army without either Croxigors or large monsters. So going anti-large, and Deadman has gone for High Elves. Going anti-large focus is a good idea. Lofen Sea Guards are pretty good choice here, because they can deal with enemy cavalry charging them. They're pretty good in ranged exchanges, especially since Lizardmen don't really have any good ranged units anyway. So even if they will be picked, that won't be an issue too much for the Lofen Sea Guard. And they can still focus the big large monsters. And if they get attacked by the said big large monsters, they're still fine because they have spears. So yeah, I think Lofen Sea Guards should definitely be picked. And then maybe just with regular spearmen, Silvern Guards, and War Alliance of Thrace. It'll be pretty good choices. And I think Phoenix Guard or Sword Masters of Hoeth should be picked. Would be risking them being focused down by Lizardman magic.
Lizardmen do have a versatile roster and can go with a lot of options.
Well, there's still a map left to pick. Left to be picked on my team. So actually, since the map pick is in team's hands, we've still got Alpine Ridge, or Alpine Ridge, and Horot Ridge, which are both big hills in the middle, which wouldn't really be beneficial to ranged factions. One thing that would surely suck on these maps is artillery. Or range units can still do fine.
That is a good point. Lizardmen do have access to some pretty decent artillery.
I'm more thinking that just Lizardmen go full melee and pick a map that screws over ranged units.
Very much so. I think the Lizardman melee efficiency is better than the High Elf melee efficiency. So I think best thing Lizardman could do is just full melee, YOLO mid rush, go take him out.
Okay, so Tim isn't setting up in the ridge, which I think would be best. Like Horot Ridge is, well, is a larger hill. Oh, we'll see what he decides to pick. maybe he'll still go back to Alpine Reach. So the idea would be, if you pick Alpine Reach, and you still pick Salamanders as your artillery, you pick Horot Ridge, which is kind of just a more extreme version. So let's switch over to the game now that you have the map decided. But it is like flatter on top, or like areas wider, so it is maybe a little bit more forgiving for archers. Right, so my idea was, if you take Alpine Ridge, which you won't be able to see through unless you have something hovering over there, and it will still be difficult to shoot over it and hit the targets on the other side. Then you'd pretty much, as the faction with more melee units, so Lizardmen, bad with those mobile artillery units and Salamanders, you'd 100% claim that ridge, because High Elves would just never go there in the first place. But well, we'll see what will be the case. Teams seem to have had the army ready even before the map was decided. So let's see. No Salamanders. Only one Croxigor. No, there's
a lot of range.
Croxigor. Those are like Skink Skirmishers, Skink Cohort with javelins, and those are Skink Skirmishers. So 5 Skink Skirmishers, and they kind of suck. Got 3 Sabrus Warriors with shields. Skirmishers of Death. So probably Fate of Buna, I would expect. Yeah. With no good targets for Buna, unless it's just is it Soul Stealer? No, not Soul Stealer. Soul something.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't think they were starting on top of it. I thought they were gonna start like Alpine Ridge.
Spirit Leech.
Spirit Leech.
Spirit and Soul. Okay. Yeah, I thought it would also start like over there. I wonder if they knew that.
Good question.
I mean, that's the problem, right? Like, why isn't it displayed in the UI before loading into a battle? Just why? Or maybe it's random, just like in Pharaoh.
Which sucked.
Well, I don't think so. Like, I think it's just in Pharaoh, because I remember I was so surprised by it, because like it's so uncommon.
It is, because like you can't plan, and I don't think that's a good idea. That can give one side a tremendous advantage.
The map completely changes how it plays depending on whether you start
absolutely
horizontally or vertically, right?
100%.
Okay, so we got those Skink Skirmishers. The missile strength sucks. The range sucks. Everything about them sucks. They only have poison. That's about it.
Sucks.
So they cause fear as them themselves cause fear if the Croxigors are in range.
Yeah.
But the Croxigors themselves cause fear anyway.
Yep.
It's like, who cares?
It's not really relevant here. Like, if this was against Greenskin or Skaven, sure. But against High Elves, that's not gonna work.
So they get buffs when Skinks are in range, but they've got Skink Cohorts for that. So just spam more Skink Cohorts.
Yep. Very much so. Would have been better.
Well, let's see. We've got the Lothern Sea Guard, which I mentioned, for 5 units of it.
I mean, while I don't like Tim's draft...
We got actually 5 ranged units versus 5 ranged units. Some of them are with shields, some of them are not. Oh, laying up 2 ranged units on top of each other. That prevents them from shooting.
Not a good idea. Yep.
Yeah, you can see these guys aren't even trying to shoot because they're obstructed by each other. But then again, they do outrange the Skink Skirmishers quite significantly, 165 to 70, so 95% range advantage. Not percent, just 95. And therefore, Cold One's coming in for a charge, which is not ideal for this Lothern Sea Guard, but at least they'll
They do
somewhat
have
deal with it.
Yeah, they have a defense against large, and they have anti-large, so I think they will be okay.
Here comes the
And they were.
punishment, the bounce spell on every single Slime Mage priest.
Yep.
Yeah, they barely took any damage, that's surprising. But
Yeah.
they'll be engaged by more... There's only...
In fact, cavalry takes significantly
There's the
more
Sneak
damage than
Hoppers as
them.
well. Here comes Searing Doom. You haven't really covered spells present on the High Elves. So we got Spirit Leech on the Prince, who is trying to snipe the Slime Mage Priest. Croxigor's coming in
And
to
getting
help out.
sniped instead.
Yeah, Prince is going to get wrecked there, but Spearmen are there to help him up.
Damn, that was a good Searing Doom. That's a 50% health and wrapped.
Yeah, so the Savage Warriors with shields are coming in on those Lothar Seaguards.
Those
yeah,
Lothar
everything else is
Seaguard
dying.
are doing good. Yeah, Lothar Seaguard is doing good. They set up a secondary line for themselves. The general is
and
at
the
full
cavalry
health.
wriking havoc in the backlines because the
Yeah.
ski skirmishers, they have no stats. They can't do
And
anything.
Clan Mage Priest can't snipe the Prince because he's too far. He keeps getting zoned out.
Where's the Prince though? I don't see him.
Middle, right in the middle. Middle of the battlefield. He's fighting those
I don't see
skirmishers.
him, but anyway. No, he's here. What the hell do you mean?
I confused the Prince with Wizard. Oh my god, Prince.
Well,
is
the
dead.
Prince is almost down. There we go.
Yep. Just for a good measure.
Mud double units of
Yes,
spearmen
but-
chasing the Slum Mage down.
That actually
Oh,
flipped
the Spirit Lich is
value.
still like.
Damn right.
What
Gotta
is
make sure he's
leeching
dead.
though? Okay, double Croxigors are coming in, like finally, because okay, apart from, well, okay, they killed the Lord. So that's big. But apart
That
from
is
that,
big.
they haven't been able to contribute anything because they've been busy with that.
Yep.
I mean, one unit would
Kill
be
the-
enough. And Savage Priest still has those units of spearmen chasing down. Well, one of them should be chasing the Croxigors.
Yeah.
Wizard doing alright here. Let's
The
have
right
a look at the
flank
Wizard.
will-
850, pretty good. And
The right flank of
main,
Wizards
main,
completely collapsed.
sorry, the main forces, the land forces just collapsed for this moment. Croxigors are pretty
Yep,
much the only thing
exactly.
left.
Hope Banishment goes down to finish off those archers.
Yeah, that was the second
Croxigors
management though,
coming
so
in.
no more.
Yep, left flank of High Elves is going down. I also would like to point out that the value, the kill count on the field
Double
suddenly flipped the moment General went down. So had he saved that General, he could have been way ahead right now.
I think he should
Like
still be fine.
advantage
His morale
flip
should be
with
fine. The Lizardmen are rallying, but it's all
Value
just
is
crap
dropping.
units, just crap skinks.
Yep.
Lothar Seaguard is being picked off one by one though, it should be supporting
Yep.
each other. So
They
this
can't.
one, don't shoot like routed shields,
Yeah,
start
that's-
shooting the
that's always-
Croxigors. So the Croxigors still need to be dealt with. Here
They
come
are,
the
and
White
they're
Ranger
running out of
Phrase.
options very quickly.
Oh,
we got
good
final
to see the health on
transmutation.
these Croxigors, like the
Oh.
banner is also, it's over here.
I think Slan Mage Priest only has one more transmutation worth of health left. But he's playing him
Interesting.
defensively,
It
so
also depends on whether the mana is there, which we don't see.
that's true.
Speaking of which, where's that sorcerer? It's over here.
Right behind him, yeah.
Yeah, sorcerer can just target the Slay Mage Priest in melee, but it would lose. Well, it has slightly more HP, but enough just to be wary of the Corvex Huatl.
Yep.
But there you go, that
I
Croxigor
think
unit
that's
is almost down.
Fate of Buna
Oh,
that
Fate of
went
Buna,
down
yeah,
on
there we
White
go.
Lines.
That is a very good target for
Yep.
Fate of Buna.
An ideal target even, so Elves, I don't think...
There's one unit of Spearmen left.
Only hope
Another
that
for
Elves have
Seaguard,
left
out
is
of
killing
ammo.
off that General. Croxigors joined
These
in,
units are
and
routing.
they have intercepted.
Yeah, losing the general might have been crucial in the end because the morale is collapsing as it just does. Piles don't
100%.
have enough forces left to follow the morale.
Absolutely. Elves were keeping it under control, but ignoring that General and having him get lost in all of that was
There
the...
we go, army
the
losses.
fatal mistake.
But
loss.
I would say this is definitely by far the best battle out of Deadman.
Yes.
Played it pretty well.
Yeah, very well, very well. Just one important mistake that he made.
Yeah, I wouldn't say yellowing the prince onto the Slam Mage Priest was that bad of an idea. Because it kept him away, he couldn't use Fate of Buna on those... was it 9 or was it 3 experience? Anyway, on those Lower Lines of Trace, which was the best target for him anyway.
Yeah.
And the Croxigors got occupied for quite some time as well. I thought they still got quite a good value out of it. Yeah, maybe just more Spearmen and fewer War Lions. But the build is pretty good, there's not that much to criticize here. But a 5 pure melee units to cover 6 Lofen Sea Guards, which they do alright in melee, and yeah, if you look at the value, all of them did pretty well. Better than the Spearmen and better than the War Lions of Trace, actually. So yeah. The Prince didn't get much value at all. Maybe a Wizard on a Dragon would be a better idea here. The Ferric Cold ones, I mean, they're super cheap, they're like 400, so pretty good. But King Skirmishers, yeah. They were so bad. I'm surprised the Skin Cohorts did alright. They're usually pretty crap themselves. But anyway, that's Tim winning our tournament. First time for him on land battles. Would have been different maybe if Berserk was here, but he couldn't come today. He withdrew. So that's a bit of a shame because Tim encroached on Berserk's territory, and we didn't really get to see what would happen if they met.
Yeah, unfortunately, but well, we had a low participation, and well, we learned a lot.
Let's have a look
No
at the
more of
Dwarves
them on.
bracket.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so Big JP dropped out, and no, Big JP didn't drop out, right? He just
No,
lost.
he didn't. He just lost.
Okay,
Yeah. He gets 3rd place. Oh. Pigman did drop out.
Okay. Bracket, there we go. That's what it looks like. That's the entire tournament within one screen.
Yep.
Alright,